Kimberly, very unstable situation in a country that needs to be stable because, as the aforementioned, it is a nuclear country.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the weekend, we did see an escalation in the demonstrations, as you just said here, and sources on the ground were very concerned that, ISIS and other militant groups in the Middle East may see an opening here, and if the goal is to bomb America and the West with nuclear weapons, Pakistan's right in their backyard. So it's something that the Department of Defense is very, very much so watching.
Now, we heard in that report that the government of Pakistan is going to crack down on the opposition, and you have some news that they probably already have?
Yeah, actually, we got words a few hours ago from the military that they had, over the past few weeks and month or so, they had killed approximately 920 militants in the northern part of the country. And they had actually lost 82 soldiers in the fight to get rid of these Islamists. And if you look at that, I think that is a message kind of being sent by the military saying, look, ISIS, if you think there's going to be an opening here, forget about it. We're more going to go along the lines of in Egypt, and that would be a military coup. And that could very well happen. I don't think you're going to see a transfer of power in another election. Sources say that if anything happens, what the military would do will be very similar to what happened in Egypt when the al-Sisi military coup came in and got rid of the Muslim Brotherhood.
And Pakistan has a long and recent history of military coups. So is this a military coup? Is it an Islamic takeover, or is it a grassroots opposition as led by this cricket player?
Well, I think that they were... I think the old stalwarts in the country looked at this and said, hey, if this guy wants to make a hubbub, this may be our way to get this guy out of here. Sharif, not all that popular. The economy's ailing, and you see the turmoil in the Middle East not so far away. And I think that legitimately they are concerned as to what can be done here. And they're concerned about what ISIS is doing, and they are well aware that they can come in and actually take territory and hold territory.
But the United States, everyone in the West, in fact the entire world, needs a stable Pakistan, because here we have what amounts to a third world country with nuclear weapons. So the last thing we want to have happen is to have these weapons fall in the hand of extremists, of terrorists, because we know that they will use them. What's the likelihood of that? And has the U.S. foreign policy helped produce this mess?
Well, I think that, the foreign policy the United States is following is we just don't have one. I don't think we even have an Obama doctrine, if there is such a thing. I think that when you look at a situation like this, we've seen with past demands with ISIS, they've actually requested that the United States turn over a doctor, Siddiqui, who is a Pakistani gal who actually has the experience in nuclear bombs and nuclear technology. They're demanding, they want her released from U.S. custody. She's in our custody, she's in prison.
Right.
And, so that they're after that. So we know they're after that, and we know what they're doing in Iraq, and we know that we've lost 2 American journalists at the hands of these brutal, brutal Islamists. And, they're becoming much more of a problem, and, there's only one thing that we can do with them. We have got to go in and take them out.
So how can the State Department and the Pentagon and this president come out and say that we are not at war when clearly they are at war with us? If this was 1941, we wouldn't say, hey, we're not at war with you, Japan, after you just bombed us. This is nuts.
It is absolutely nuts, and you can bet that Putin is watching this, China is watching this, and all of America's enemies are watching this. We're arguing over semantics here. We're arguing, are we at war or are we combating them? We're actually, they've declared war on the United States. And the only way to take care of this problem, I've talked to several military personnel, and you listen to what the colonels say, and they're the guys that are the no-nonsense leaders in the military, and this is what they say. get the Marines out, send the MEB, the Marine Expeditionary Brigade. We've been training. They know their job, about 15,000 soldiers. Let them down on the ground. Let them fight the battle. Give them no rules of engagement, no coin, no hearts and minds, and you give them a mission to get rid of ISIS, and they'll get rid of ISIS. And then that sends a message to other terrorists around the world. If you mess with the United States, this is what happens. It's the only way these people will listen to reason.
The problem is, I don't think this president will take off the shackles of the rules of engagement that he put on our military forces. Do you?
It doesn't appear that that is the case whatsoever. It appears that he's just saying that, you know, we're gonna look into it. We're gonna get a coalition. Well, by the time we get a coalition together, the president, you know, may have lost this battle before it's even begun. It just, we get to a point, there's a point of no return, and we are so close to that point. I mean, without it being a full-fledged war, we've got to go in and just let our military do. This is the best morale booster that our military has. I mean, you go in, you give them a mission, and you say, this is what you need to do. Don't come home until it's done. They come home, they feel like they're heroes. They feel like the battle was won. They feel like they had a job well done, and you didn't hamstring them. Indications with the Obama administration, we may not go there, but he did give the order to go get Osama bin Laden, so who knows?
He's not going to do it. I don't think he will. Meantime, the anniversary of 9/11 is 8 days away. Kimberly, thanks.